exactly how much longer do you intend to keep us waiting here, Constable? It's been 30 minutes and absolutely nothing has happened.
I'm sure it won't be long, madam. The inspector's just familiarising himself with the layout of the house.
Tell me, Constable Tompkins, I was wondering if it might be one of the inspectors with whom I've worked on a previous occasion.
Oh, I don't believe so, Miss Michael. Actually, he's an acting inspector. Apparently there's very nasty blue virus over at Milton. Plain clothes are a bit thin on the ground.
So, in fact, we have been kept waiting by a sergeant? I mean, I don't see the necessity. We all gave our statements last night.
Oh, calm down, old girl. You get nowhere trying to rush these things. I expect they're just following routine. Got to have routine in the services. Lose your discipline without it.
I don't care how long they keep us here, as long as they find out who killed poor Aunt Mildred. How can anybody?
Sit yourself down, my dear. It's a very rotten business, but you've got to keep the old stiff upper lip, eh?
But she was just lying there, with blood everywhere.
Perhaps you might give the young lady a drink, Mr. Bunting.
There you are, Miss Dorothy.
Thank you.
That's the trick, yes. That'll soon calm you down.
Yes,
Oh, try not to think about it, my dear. That's the best way.
yes, I know. I'll be all right in a moment.
A bullet does such terrible damage to the skull at close range.
Really? Miss Marple, do you have to?
Oh, yeah, I'm terribly sorry. It's just that I've grown so used to these things. The blood and the brains.
This will be the lounge.
Have you kept us waiting all this time just so that you could make such an obvious deduction, Sergeant?
Inspector Pratt. And yes, it was obvious, Mrs.
Craddock.
Yes. You see, Mrs. Craddock, that's the way I work. I start with the unmistakable, and then I proceed right up to the unmistakable. Is it obvious to anyone here that this elephant has recently been roasted? No, I thought not.
Well, old boy, it's more usual for elephants to be poached. Just trying to lighten the proceedings, old boy.
And you are?
Charles Craddock. Colonel Charles Craddock. Retired.
I see, the wife of Mrs. Craddock. Is everyone assembled, Thompson?
Tompkins, sir.
Hmm.
They're all here, sir.
Good, then I'll begin. I should pay close attention to this. If I were you, Thompson, you might learn something. We're a bit more sophisticated down in Milton than out here in the States.
Sophisticated, yes, sir. Is that one F or two, sir?
Now, I've assembled you all here so I can ask you a few questions concerning the unfortunate and regrettable circumstances of yesterday.
Excuse me, Inspector, but we gave our statements to the gentleman last night.
Yes, I'm quite aware of that, but I wanted to see you here myself. You see, a good detective can spot a villain a mile off close range. You are?
Elizabeth. Elizabeth Hartley. Trumpington.
Now, you are gathered in the very room where Mrs. Bagshot was so cruelly and brutally cut down last night. What I would like...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Thompson.
Tompkins, sir.
Yes, what is it?
Mrs. Bagshot wasn't actually in this room at the time, sir. She was in the dining room by the door, sir.
I'm quite aware of that fact.
Sorry, sir.
As I was saying, the shot which so fatally killed Miss Bagshot was fired from this very room. Now, what I would like...
Sorry again, sir.
Now, what is it, Thompson?
The shot wasn't fired in this room, sir. The murderer was in the hall and fired through the doorway.
Thank you very much. But I really don't think we need to be such sticklebags for detail, Thompson.
Tompkins, sir.
The bullet that killed Mrs. Bagshot passed through this very room in which we are all assembled.
Without doubt, sir.
Now, what I would like you all to do is to take up the position that you were in when this fateful occurrence occurred. Where are you going?
To do as you asked.
They were all elsewhere except for one, sir.
Then why did you assemble them in here?
You asked me to, sir. In the lounge, you said, sir.
Are you trying to make me look a fool, Thompson?
Now, sir, that's the last thing you need.
You better buck your ideas up if you want to go anywhere in this port. For the sake of briefness and brevity, I shall conduct my questioning in here.
Mine.
Now, which one of you was in here when Miss Bagshot was so cruelly cut down in her pride?
I bet it was me, Inspector.
And you are?
Miss Mabel.
Yeah, I see. And your surname, Miss Mabel?
Michael is her surname, sir. She's somewhat of a celebrity in the village.
Oh, right. Thank you, Thompson.
Tompkins, Inspector.
Yes. So, the reason for your celibacy, Miss Mabel?
It's hardly that, Inspector. It's simply that I've been involved with this sort of thing many times.
Murder.
Most regrettably, yes, Inspector.
Most regrettable indeed. So you were the only person here by yourself when the bullet passed through. Did you see anything?
I'm afraid not, Inspector. It was traveling rather too fast.
Just as I suspected.
I remember Mildred's last words. She must have caught sight of the murderer. She said, "So, you found." Then the shot was fired. I ran to her, but upon examination, she was dead.
Yeah. Did she say anything?
No, Inspector.
Thank you, Miss Marbles.
It's my pleasure, Inspector. I only wish I could be of more help. However, I hope you won't mind me saying that perhaps it would be less confusing if you simply called me Joan.
Colonel Craddock,
Yes, old boy.
it was your gun that was used to perpetuate the crime to happen.
Afraid so, old boy. Some founder stole it from the hall.
Very careless indeed, Colonel. Just checking the dining room. There. we've got. Thompson!
Oi, down now, sir. Miss Bedtrop might have been trying to say, so you found your gun, implying that she saw the Colonel.
Exactly. I was wondering how long that would take you. What do you have to say to that, Colonel?
Preposterous. I was in the lavatory down the hall.
You had witnesses.
Of course not, man. A chap doesn't take witnesses into the little boy's room. Not unless he's up to no good, of course.
So you're going to the statement your wife was in her room alone? What about you, Miss Hartley?
Trumpington.
Yes.
I was changing. Pierre had just carried up my bags for me.
You were changing. So you were scantily clad in your underwear.
What? Naked, Inspector.
Pierre, the mysterious Frenchman. Bonjour, mon amigo.
Bonjour, Inspector. C'est vous, André, des mon mieux.
Where passez-vous when the shirt was fired?
Pardon?
Pierre does speak excellent English, Inspector.
Ah, well, in that case, I conduct my inquiring questions in English. But those of you not as fluent as I. Where were you when the shot, bang, was fired?
I was also in my lab.
I see. That leaves two unaccounted for. Your name?
Dorothy Foxton. Mildred was my auntie.
I see. That would make you her nephew.
Her niece, Inspector. I helped her.
Oh, she had trouble getting about?
Not really, no.
Then why mention her niece?
I didn't. Look, I live here. I was in the kitchen when I heard the shot.
There is a connecting door from the dining room to the kitchen, sir.
I had noticed that, Thomas.
Sorry, sir.
You say, what did you do?
I ran into the hall. There was nobody there. So I came in here and found Auntie.
Thank you, Mrs. Foxtail. At least only you.
Hunting, sir?
The family container. Where were you?
In the cellar, sir. Stop taking.
And where is the cellar?
Down there.
Where's the door?
At the end of the hall, sir.
You can show it to me later.
It's just an ordinary door, sir.
Very interesting.